Every penny counts. The state of Colorado is getting ready to lower its minimum wage. While the national minimum wage is $7.25, Colorado's is a little higher at $7.28. But come January 1st, it will drop 4 cents to $7.24. Why are they doing this at a time when so many folks are struggling to make ends meet? Joining us now is Cher Havind of the Colorado Department of Labor and Employment, and that is the big question. I know that you're tying this to inflation, but can't you reverse your policy considering that unemployment is at 9.8% right now?
Well, in the state of Colorado, minimum wage is tied to the state's constitution. In 2006, voters chose to tie minimum wage to the CPI, and for the first time in what we can figure has been, a relatively long time, the CPI actually decreased 0.6% for the period that we're looking at. So this will be the first time that actually we have seen a decrease in minimum wage. So once you put things into the state's constitution, it's very difficult to undo that, unfortunately.
Right. So the argument always is when the minimum wage goes up that it's going to hurt jobs, especially the kids and the people that are unskilled workers and so forth. So is the reverse true? Do you think that this drop in minimum wage will somehow help job creation?
Not necessarily. Out of a 2.5 million strong workforce in the state, 48,000 individuals earn a minimum wage or below, and below would be those tipped workers. And so it certainly doesn't hurt the workforce that now we'll see what will likely be a 3% decrease in the wage, because most employers will still pay the federal rate. But as you alluded to, really the critical piece here is job creation. And it's, less than 2% of the workforce that will be impacted by this decrease, but they're still contributing to the economy. And so if the state can really focus on appealing to employers to not lower the wage, they don't have to. Employers can certainly continue to pay the wages that they are now. And then also just really focusing on job creation.
Well, Cher, what has the reaction been there in the state of Colorado from the press, from the average folks? I mean, what do they say?
Well, to be honest, it's shocking. Again, it's really unusual to see your CPI go down, and we attribute that to the cost of fuel. In the summer of '08, fuel prices were relatively high, almost at the highest, and then we saw a significant drop with the recession in the beginning of '09. So shock is number one. People didn't know that when they voted on this in 2006 that there could be a time where we see a decrease. And from the advocacy groups, the folks that tried to get this initiative on the ballot, they're really appealing to employers, as I said, to just keep their wages stable and continue to pay what they're paying now. And again, we could be looking at a 3% drop, but employers aren't required to decrease those wages.
Cher, what is unemployment in Colorado right now? What's your rate?
We're at 7.6%. We continue to fall. We dropped 0.5% last month. We release our new rate tomorrow. And, we're one of 20 or so states in the country that has seen relatively modest increases, and now what we're seeing is are modest decreases in our rates. So, we were slower to go into the recession, and we're hoping that we're among the first to recover.
Cher Havind from the state of Colorado.